Good evening and welcome to Hopkins High School for tonight's varsity girls basketball game as the Medway Mustangs take on your hometown Hopkins Hillers. The Tri-Valley League is committed to the highest ideals of sportsmanship and establishing a healthy environment for interscholastic competition. The league will not tolerate negative statements or actions directed towards competitors, game officials, or fans in attendance. Such actions including taunting, trash talking, and berating of players or officials. Please respect all decisions made by officials. Please respect fans, coaches, participants, and opponents alike. Thank you for helping to create a positive, respectful, and fun environment here at HHS. And now for tonight's lineups for the Medway Mustangs. Guard number 1, junior Rachel Costello. Guard number 3, sophomore Julie Dowling. Guard number 4, senior captain Meg Dowling. Forward number 10, senior captain Riley Childs. Center number 14, junior Samantha Murray. The coaches for the Mustangs are Joe Inella and Megan Keown. And now for your hometown Hopkins Hillers, guard 0, junior Lily Morningstar. Forward number 4, senior captain Ivy Goglin. Guard number 11, senior Callie Corby. Guard number 15, senior Rissa Prawl. Forward number 32, senior captain Regan Caverney. The Hillers are coached by Mike Greco and Kerry Chapman. And now will you all please stand for the national anthem.
HCAM TV presents another edition of Hopkinton Girls Varsity Basketball, and tonight we have the Hopkinton Hillers hosting the Medway Mustangs, both teams undefeated. Hi, I'm Tim Hladek here with my partner Steve Spector, and tonight, Steve, we got a great TVL clash early on in the season.
Yeah, two undefeated teams, Medway 3-0, Hopkinton 3-0. They're both coming off, everything they're doing has been a victory.
Is a victory, right?
I was here last Friday night or last week, at their last home game here, and Hopkinton, the girls, they absolutely dominated the Norton squad, a much younger and inexperienced team, and this should be a little different kind of a game here, right, with both teams. You know, this has always been a great rivalry over the years, so this could be a Donnybrook kind of a fight, fighting, but certainly good-spirited way. Medway's fired up. I think this is the only game that they're playing together against each other this year, the way that the schedules work out. So we'll have to see how the game gets going, and psyched to be here with you.
And Riley Childs will be tipping off against Ivy Goglin, both senior captains, as we get this game started. Childs wins the tip, and Medway starts with the ball. Quick three fired from Medway. Knocks it down. A three-pointer good for Amelia Senseni. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. That was Hopkinton. Yeah, it was Julia Dowling with the three on that
exactly.
Marissa Prawl gets tied up on the offensive end for Hopkinton. A foul called on the Mustangs.
Medway standing in a man-to-man defense against the inbound.
Corby tries to get it in. She does so to Prawl. Prawl drives.
Nice move.
Finger roll does not go. Gogolin with the rebound. She puts it up and in. 3-2 now. Medway advantage.
As I said earlier, these teams really have had some epic battles over the years, and I have a good feeling that this is going to be one of those games as well.
As Lily Morningstar draws a foul there against Medway. This one going against Rachel Costello. Yeah, and Steve, to your point, I remember last year, all 3 games I believe that they played against Medway were competitive at the very least. They got a lot of talented girls on both of these schools, and as they both lost talent throughout the years, they definitely have quite the well to restock from, as we can see with both teams having a quick 3-0 start.
No question about it. Hopkinton playing a tough man-to-man.
Another 3 almost falls for Julia Dowling. That one was deep. Keaveney,
nice play.
Reverse layup up and in, and Hopkinton takes the first lead of the game.
Beautiful play. Corby moved the ball up perfectly, and nice finish.
Hopkinton in man-to-man as well. That leaves Sam Murray with a wide open shot off of a pick, but she misses the mark from just inside the free throw line. Now Callie Corby with it. Prawl fires the 3, bit too strong. Grabbed by Medway. Fast-paced game so far. As we see Medway bringing it up the court. Now the ball down to Childs. She's looking for her first shot of the game. Crosses over in front of Morningstar. Morningstar gets her hands in there and tips the ball away.
Out of bounds.
And Childs and Gogolin both end up on the floor. And Childs was out of bounds, or touched the end line with the ball. Turnover on Medway.
Yeah, Childs got a little ahead of herself. She did a crossover move and didn't take the ball with her, and then she dove for the ball and ended up out of bounds, unfortunately for her.
Yep, Childs is probably Medway's best player, but Morningstar is, I would say, Hopkinton's best on-ball defender. And look, Morningstar won that battle there.
Definitely.
As the loose ball goes out of bounds. Hopkinton retains.
Lily's a tough matchup, period. I mean, she's, considering when she started playing varsity as a freshman,
right,
which doesn't happen very often, and looking at her now, it's been a really, really great growth spurt for her, and she's evolved into a great player.
Regan Keaveney missed the floater at first, grabbed her own board, put it back in, and won.
Yeah, Keaveney's got she's a tough matchup for the Tri-Valley League, and she has height. She's got a nice touch around the hoop, and that's her second hoop of the game, I believe, and she has a chance for a 3-point play here.
Yeah, right, her first hoop, that reverse lay-in, and she makes the and one here and converts. 5 points for Keaveney, 7-3 Hopkinton with 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Costello dribbling it for Medway. Now ball in the hands of Childs. Again, Morningstar playing tough D. Childs takes a tough shot, can't get it to fall.
Forced it.
And probably could have been called a foul on Childs on that reach, but nothing called off of a Hiller.
It could have been that, and it also could have been called off of Medway because Childs looked like she tipped it out of bounds, as
it did.
The Hopkinton fans were trying to explain.
Very politely, of course.
So far, it's early, though.
Sam Murray looking for help, has the ball at the 3. Nice floater taken and knocked down from Julia Dowling. She faked the 3.
Yeah, Keaveney got pulled into that ball fake, and nice shot by Childs.
Ivy Gogolin dribbles into some trouble there.
Dowling, I mean.
Guarded by Sam Murray, she turned right into Meg Downing. And a jump ball was called. This one stays with Hopkinton.
Kylie Sheehan coming in, senior guard forward swingman type of player for Medway.
Gogolin gets the pass, shot right away, a bit short, and Childs has possession. She looks up, finds Sheehan, Sheehan with a nice shot, can't quite finish. Now Marissa Prawl with the ball. And she advances it for Hopkinton.
Good play by Prawl.
Keaveney gets the ball inside. Gogolin turns around. Great defense from Sam Murray there. Forces the tough shot.
Tough to block her shot, but that was a great defensive play there.
Kylie Sheehan takes the pass, makes a nice effort toward the hoop. Can't finish the lay, and Keaveney grabs the board. Morningstar with a nice drive. Almost converts the and one. Took the bump there from, I believe, Meg Downing. And 2 free throws will be coming for the junior.
Nope, looks like
that one not called a shooting. I don't know how that was not called a shooting foul, but Hopkinton will keep the ball under the Mustang hoop.
I'm with you. And just for the record, just my research I've done is Tim, you are a Medway native, so this must be an interesting angle for you, doing play-by-play at a Hopkinton home game, but you grew up in Medway. So we'll have to get into that as the game goes along. But I don't
want to reveal all my secrets.
I've heard that you've come over to the dark side, and that's great if you have. So we'll have to see.
Well, I don't know who your sources are, but I have gone through some things with this Hopkinton team. So
there you go.
For sure, I definitely feel some type of attachment to them.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that's working out that way.
Kate Hubner enters the game for the first time for Hopkinton, as well as Olivia Gladue.
Nice block again. It's her second block, number 14 from Samantha Murray.
Sam Murray almost lost the ball after that block. Childs eventually did lose it. Now Gladue with it.
Oh, nice idea.
Nice look to Keaveney. Keaveney absorbs the contact, no foul, but the bucket is good. 9-5 now, Hopkinton. And Keaveney with the foul, the reach-in right there. Right past half court. Medway will throw in.
.329 left in the first quarter. 9-5, Hopkinton with an early lead here.
Sam Murray with it at the top of the key. She's looking for help. Tries to get inside to Childs. Tough look there. Good defense played by Hubner. She gets the pass, stops, and fires the shot. A tough shot there to completely stop her momentum. But she drained it anyway. 11-5 Hopkinton, and timeout from Coach Einone.
Yeah, I think he needs to gather his girls who are, and that play by Hubner was, as you just pointed out, she's going down the court, stopped short, gathered herself, stop and pop, as opposed to, an off-balance shot or taking it up and out of control. So that was a really good decision on her part. But so far, the Hillers 3:10 left in the first quarter, up 11-5. Medway's got 4 fouls. The Hillers have only 1 foul. So so far, so good for the Hillers against a very tough Medway team.
Right to start, Medway got that deep 3 from Julia Dowling, and that was their only lead since. Hopkinton has fired back defensively with a couple of deflections and outright steals, and that has led to the 6-point lead for Medway. For Hopkinton. Maybe I haven't changed sides completely. Right?
let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
But Hopkinton, now this is the first game that me and you have done for the girls this season, Steve. And last year they fell to Medfield in the Division II Central Sectional Finals. A very successful year for Hopkinton, but maybe a feeling among some that they could have gone a little farther. They fell 49-42, and as part of that season, they got a share of the TVL title along with Medfield. And some key losses from last year's team. Michaela Pucci, we used to love watching her play. Would always knew how to use her body and get tough shots. They're without her. Julia Canistrari, Emma Kasha, but so far we've seen that hasn't hurt them.
They've got a lot of depth this year, and long bomb there.
Yeah, another deep 3 from Dowling. No good though.
I think that was from the parking lot. That was way past the.
Morningstar looks like she got hacked. No foul called. Rebound for Hopkinton, a missed 3. Now Gogolin grabs another offensive board. As Ashley McDermott gets ready to check in. Keaveney fires the 3, knocks it down. Regan Keaveney, 7 points thus far.
She's having a heck of a game so far. It's very early, and suffice to say, she's somewhat dominating so far in the game. Ooh.
Another deep three from Julia Dowling. And she has 6 of Medway's 8 points so far.
Got to keep an eye on that. She's really got a nice stroke out there.
A nice move from Olivia Gladue, who dished it off to Gogolin. Gogolin couldn't make the shot. Now Sam Murray with it for Medway. She takes it all the way. The floater doesn't quite go in, and Gogolin grabs the board. Childs grabs a loose ball. A bit of confusion there. Misses a shot. Sam Murray grabs the miss, puts it up, and is fouled.
That's looks like Kevin's second foul. I think there'll be a substitution here in a minute. There's 1:47 left in the first, and that's Regan's second foul. So it'll be interesting to see if the coach reacts to that.
And one of the 2 senior captains, Regan Kevaney, along with Ivy Gogolin, will take a seat. Ashley McDermott makes her first appearance in this one. 14-8, Hopkinton lead, 1:47 left in the first quarter, as that second free throw just trickles out. Now Hopkinton has possession.
Nice skip pass.
Morningstar, great look down to Gogolin. Save from Medway goes right into the hands of Hopkinton in a bucket for the Hillers.
Ashley McDermott, just enters the game and is in for 10 seconds and gets a beautiful left-handed shot off the backboard for her first 2 points of the night.
And then just as quickly, Medway turns it over on a travel on Kylie Sheehan. And now Hopkinton will take over with an 8-point lead.
Coach Greco has quite a deep bench at his disposal, and he's making good use of it so far.
Hubner was in some trouble, managed to get it to Morningstar.
Nice
Morningstar,
play.
the nice move, can't quite reach on the shot. Ball goes out of bounds in McDermott's possession, and it's a Medway ball as a result.
Corby coming back in for Ivy.
Yep. Gogolin, the other senior captain, also taking her first rest of the game, as the senior guard makes her way back in. They get the ball down low to Riley Childs, who posts up, using that height advantage, and now 16-10 lead. .40 seconds and counting left here in the first quarter. Medway changing their approach a bit on defense as Riley Childs comes away with a steal, and Morningstar, trying to prevent an easy basket, fouls her.
Yeah, not a bad foul under the circumstances. Lily's first foul of the game, and 33 seconds left in the quarter. There's only 3 fouls against the Hillers so far in the game, so better to take the foul and not give up the bunny layup down the other end.
3 seconds, almost 4 seconds separates the shot and game clock, so Hopkinton should get an opportunity after this possession, assuming they don't give up an offensive rebound. Up 16-10.
Good D.
A fake 3, and then sealing off the drive was Ashley McDermott, as Lily Morningstar jumps a pass and knocks it right out of bounds. Quick substitution, Olivia Gladue comes in for the aforementioned Morningstar.
This could give Morningstar a little break. Finish the first quarter, maybe she's been in the whole game so far until
Sheehan
now.
wanted to post up to Mary Kay Gould.
3 seconds
No
on the
luck.
shot
McDermott pokes the pass away. Shot fired. May have been partially blocked, but it was a tough shot anyway for Meg Downing, who had to collect herself with about a second left, leaving Hopkinton 2.3 seconds left to get a shot off. Prawl fires it from half court.
Ooh.
Looked good from up here.
Excellent
Didn't
form on
quite
that.
make it, but Hopkinton still up 16-10 after the first.
Yeah, had a chance that a really good shot at the end there, and again 16. It was 11-5
Right.
at one point, and Medway making a little bit of a comeback since then, or pretty much even, but it feels a little closer. Things tightened up, but certainly, you know, the Hillers have an advantage here, and this is the type of game, Tim, that's probably going to have kind of streaks of both teams catching some momentum back and forth. So excited to see how the rest of the game goes, and so the ref's doing a good job, and girls have got the Christmas break coming up here, but under the circumstances, got a pretty good crowd here tonight. As the we'll have the rest of the second quarter to deal with, and then
Right.
I'm glad we got you. As I said earlier, glad we have you over on the dark side here on the Hopkinton team, and it appears that you're rooting for Hopkinton, as it should be, because it's a Hopkinton broadcast. But
Well, I like to think I'm pretty impartial to both sides, but I call it how I see it.
Yep. I lean mostly to the green side.
Of course.
But just want to see, at the end of the day, we just obviously want to see a really good competitive and well played, with good sportsmanship game here, and so far that's what we have.
And what we did see in that first quarter was 7 points from Regan Kevaney. She had 2 fouls, unfortunately, and had to sit down the final 2 minutes or so, but she's back out on the court now, looking to provide some scoring for the Hillers, as Medway misses the opening shot of the second quarter. And a switch to a 2-3 zone now after starting. Nope, they're still in man. Before they had started doubling the ball handler. Now it just seems they've gone strictly back to man-to-man. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Prawl fires a 3, almost knocks it down. Gogolin, offensive board, she can't get it. Corby crashes the boards, and she is rewarded with 2 free throws.
She's really hustling. She's kind of an underdog out there. She doesn't get a lot of points, but if you see her focus on her defensive, toughness and ability, she takes care of the ball, and she anticipated where that ball was going and got the ball and drew the foul.
First free throw off the back of the rim for Corby. Still 16-10 lead for Hopkinton. 5 fouls against Medway right now, 3 against the Hillers, so a relatively even game thus far as Corby sinks the second one, 17-10 now for lead for Hopkinton. As Corby is tasked with covering ball handler Nikki Sheehan.
Played by Kevaney.
Kevaney forces the turnover, another steal for Hopkinton. Now Morningstar calling the shots for Hopkinton. Kevaney drives, finds herself open for a shot off the side of the backboard, and in the scrum, ball goes out of bounds, stays with Hopkinton.
Definitely a good idea to go to the hoop. Looked like there was some contact under there, but no call.
Morningstar receives a tough inbound pass, sets a screen for Kevaney, who tries to get it into Gogolin. Ball's bouncing around, ends up in the hands of Nikki Sheehan.
Tipped.
And Sheehan tried to find teammate Emma D'Entremont. That pass tipped away.
Some good battling going on with Ivy and number 14 for Medway, Samantha Murray. So far in this whole game, they've had some good battles underneath.
Dowling with it again. A little deeper than she'd like for those long 3-pointers as she gives it up. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Scoop shot, no good for Medway. Blocked by Kevaney. Does not matter as it is a shot clock violation. Another turnover for the Mustangs.
Tough D.
Seems that the length of Hopkinton is causing problems early on here for Medway. They're going to have to try to combat that in order to get something going, because a lot of
hesitation.
A lot of the Hill players aren't long. Not necessarily Lily Morningstar, but she gets the foul, draws the foul. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of seniors on Hopkinton, and Morningstar's a junior, but she plays with such poise, and this is her 3rd year on the varsity, so she's effectively playing like a senior out there. In that particular play, she did a really nice hesitation move, got the Medway player to bite on that, and then she tore right to the hoop on the left side and drew the foul, hit her first free throw. She has a second one here to go.
Second one just trickles in. 19-10 Hopkinton with just under 6 minutes left here in the first half. Shot blocked by Ivy Gogolin. Now Corby in control.
Discarded that shot.
Prawl wants to get inside to Gogolin. They turn away. Kevany, 3, bounces off the rim and off the top of the backboard, out of bounds. Medway takes over.
Kevany is definitely capable of catching some fire from the three-point land, and we've seen that on many occasions in the past few years here. And that was a nice shot, just didn't fall for her there.
Kylie Sheehan enters the game once more for Medway.
Nice pass.
Childs high off the glass, off the nice look from Nikki Sheehan. Another bucket for Medway, 19-12 now, Hopkinton.
Ooh, on the back.
Morningstar tries to get it into Gogolin. Sam Murray with a little push from behind results in a foul. And now looks like Ivy Gogolin will be shooting 1-1 as Medway's picked up its 7th foul.
And the bonus with 5 minutes and 9 seconds left in the half. 19-12 Hillers. Things have been kind of stable with a 7-point lead, give or take, over the last 5 minutes of the game.
No good off the free throw from Gogolin. Ball's loose and now in the hands of Medway. 3 fired from Childs. Tough shot there.
Kind of forced that one.
Yeah, she did not hit anything except out of bounds. Turnover for Medway.
Yeah, plenty of time in the shot clock there, but she obviously was feeling it. And but she's had a very solid game so far, so she'll.
I guess they'll live with those, right?
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while, you can't win them all, as they say.
Morningstar, nice pass inside to McDermott. She finds Prawl open for 3. Just off the edge of the rim, and Kevany
got away with one, but
grabs the board.
Such a height advantage with Kevany.
As Prawl drives baseline and picks up the reaching.
From this angle, it looked like Kevany was over the top, but obviously, she probably has about a 6-inch height advantage over the Medway player on that play, and that's a heck of a play by Kevany to get that rebound and another 1-on-1 situation, I believe, or 2 shots.
I believe he called it on the shot.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep. So first free throw good for Prawl. Anyway, she eliminated that doubt, made the first one. Now as Kate Hubner gets ready to check in, and Prawl sinks both. And Kevany takes a seat. 21-12, Hopkinton, 4:30 left in the first half. The pace of the game has kind of slowed down after the first few minutes of the first quarter. We thought we might be in for a high-scoring affair. Things have settled down a bit.
Tougher D happening. Ooh, nice play.
Sheehan drives hard off the backboard. No good on the shot, but she will be shooting 2.
It's a second foul on Lily Morningstar there. 4 minutes and 17 seconds left. 21-12 Hiller lead. 4:17 left in the half, I should say.
Sheehan no good on the first free throw.
Ivy coming in for Lily to give Lily a break with the 2 fouls.
Second free throw too strong. McDermott with a nice box out and rebound. Corby looks ahead to Prawl. Trying to prod the defense. Nothing doing there. Corby drives. Ball in the hands of Ivy Gogolin. She loses it. Now Medway has it. Sheehan for 3. Off to the right. Ball off of a Mustang, out of bounds.
And Medway not shy about taking these 3-pointers, and they have a bunch of nice players. A lot of their points have come from down low. I know they hit at least two
right,
3-pointers, but other than that, they haven't done much outside the arc. But they're choosing at this point to go with 3-point shooting the last couple times down. When you're down by 9 points, maybe not a bad idea.
Prawl inside to Gogolin. She takes the foul. Another foul goes against Sam Murray. And the senior captain will be shooting 2. 9 fouls now in the half for Medway.
And that's Murray's second foul, again with 3.5 minutes left in the half. Looks like she's going to come out to make sure she doesn't get her 3rd foul.
Gogolin swishes the first free throw.
Oh.
In comes Mary Kate Gold for Rachel Costello. Medway getting a height increase there.
Yep, there we go. Hey, the Medway coach didn't take my advice. And
he shook you off like a catcher, I
did. Sam
guess.
Murray, she's having a good game. You know, a lot of these players, when they have experience, and you know, Murray's a nice player. She's junior, strong forward, center type of player. And Kevin, again, you learn how to play with two, foul situations. Just got to be very careful, but still maintain some aggressive play.
All right, we'll see if Murray can do that with those 2 fouls.
Corby with a good hustle.
Loose ball tipped around. Eventually ends up in the hands of Childs, who goes back court with it, and it ends up in a turnover for Medway.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you just don't see in the box score. Corby,
all right, diving on the floor.
Yeah, staying with it, disruptive defense, made the Medway player make a mistake, and she capitalized on it and caused a turnover.
Corby inside to Gogolin.
Gogolin
partially blocked.
Ref had the call there. I couldn't quite see from here, but it looked like a nice block.
Childs drives from the 3-point line. Tough shot, had a Hopkinton defender right in her face.
Nice play.
But Mary Kate Gold rebounds it and shoots it over Gogolin. 2 more points for Medway. 23-14.
Nice ball fake by Gold on Medway's younger players. When they see that, it's like a la Kevin McHale from the 80s. Had some of the best ball fakes ever. And that was reminiscent of Mr. McHale there.
As Kevany misfires on the 3. Now Kylie Sheehan will try her hand at a 3, and she knocks it down. And just like that, Medway back within 6.
I said earlier, game of streaks here.
Ball circulating around the 3-point line for Medway, again in that zone, sending 2 people toward the ball carrier. Nice drive from Kate Huebner. Split the double team that was incoming.
Beautiful
and
play.
Found a wide open layup.
Couple Euro steps there, no travel. Just that's the way the game's played now. You can take 2 big long steps, and nice finish right there.
We saw, I could see Kevany, I was about to say, play hands off on defense, and they still found a way to hit her with that 3rd foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there, because she did back off. She didn't have the contact with her hands. It might have been some body contact down low, but that wasn't a very obvious call.
No good on the first free throw as Kevany sits down with that 3rd foul.
Again, she's a savvy player. We'll see if she comes in. Unlikely we'll see her in the rest of this half. And then she'll start the second half with 3 fouls. But she's the type of player who can manage that situation quite well.
Morningstar, the nice drive, reminiscent of what Huebner just did. She's blocked from behind. Now Huebner thought about the 3, fired it over to Morningstar. Her 3 short. Now the ball in the hand of Riley Childs. Medway down 8 with 1:10 left here in this first half. Meg Downing with it now. Tries to get it down low to Childs. Great play from Huebner. Loses more than a few inches against Childs, but got her hands in the way of that one, knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those types of plays by Huebner too, and there's a lot of players on the Hopkinton roster who are making a lot of plays. They can go 8, 9, 10 deep here. Everyone's contributing, which is great.
Ivy Gogolin fell asleep a little bit, leaving Riley Childs wide open under the hoop. Quick 2 points for Medway.
Yeah, well executed play by Medway there.
Now under a minute left. Hopkinton with a chance to get a 2-for-1 possession here. Huebner thought about the 3. Morningstar drives, nice shot.
Lots of contact.
Doesn't make it, gets blocked from behind. Gogolin picks up the trash and puts it in.
Nice second and third effort there. Gogolin in the right place at the right time.
Yep, Morningstar was blocked twice, recovered it on the first one. Gogolin recovered it after and put it in. 20 seconds now, about a second and a half separating the shot clock and the game clock. Medway will look to use every bit of it. Trying to get the ball in the hands of Childs, and a quick foul called again against Hopkinton.
Non-shooting situation because it's only the 6th foul, so not a major thing as long as it's only her first foul, I think, right?
Right, as long as they don't pick up another one and give Medway free throws because they are 1 away from the bonus.
Right.
And shot clock turned off now, 7 seconds left.
Oh.
Murray plows right over
Wow.
Huebner. No foul called, and she knocks down the jumper. 1 second left.
She called a foul there. That's a 1-on-1 situation.
And a tough.
Actually, a 2-shot foul.
Right, that will be the 10th foul. A tough call there. It goes against Medway. Meg Downing looking to make sure that Morningstar did not get a clean attempt off at a last-second 3, and instead is hit with the reach-in. Her second foul, and Morningstar will have a chance to put Hopkinton up by 8.
She's a lot of action in the last like 2.5 seconds of the half.
Right.
And Morningstar, you know, if you're a Medway fan, that's an unfortunate foul with about .001 seconds left in the half. And Lily's taking full advantage of the first shot, and that again it put him in the double bonus, so she gets two free throws with no one but her on the line.
And the first one went down, second one just spun out, leaving Hopkinton with a 28-21 advantage going into the halftime break. And I think the story of this game so far, we see a lot of activity on the Hillers defense, a lot of tip passes, a lot of outright steals, and then Regan Kevaney, who had 7 quick points in the first quarter, who kind of cooled off a bit because of the foul trouble, but still enough to give Hopkinton that 7-point lead.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. And you know, both teams played really solid first halves. Both undefeated. I think it's gonna, you know, it's been a pretty steady 7-point lead. Not much fluctuation there. So very exciting first half. Crowd's still rolling in a little bit here, and looking forward to what's definitely going to be an exciting second half here in the Athletic Center here.
All right, and again, just going into halftime break, Hopkinton up 28-21, and we'll be back after a few moments. We hope you join us.
Do you have what it takes?
Will you make a difference?
Always an adventure.
Police and fire working together.
Utilizing the latest technology.
Do you have what it takes?
And we are back here in Hopkinton getting ready for the second half, which will begin momentarily as you hear the horn sound there. An 7-point lead for Hopkinton, 28-21 going into this third quarter. And Steve, what do you think we're going to see here?
I don't know. Hopefully we'll see the Medway team come out of the locker room because there's about 45 seconds left before the second half.
And there they are.
Right on cue. They're not going to have a whole lot of time to get warmed up for the second half. But, you know, this is a big game. And the Hillers, both teams, as I said, are undefeated. But Medway, I think that the Tri-Valley League has big schools, small schools.
Right, yep.
Divisions.
They split, yep.
And Medway, this is their only Medway Hopkinton girls varsity, unless they meet in the playoffs, this is their only meeting of the year. So
right.
I think Medway coach is kind of getting them mentally prepared, as they say, for the second half and see if they can make a comeback against the Hillers. 28-21 score so far, and you know, so far solid game, and lots of players getting some good, you know, playing time, deep bench for the Hillers, and I think Coach Greco is going to be happy so far.
So over the 3 games thus far in the season, Hopkinton with wins over Holliston, Norton, and Westwood has scored 59 in a 12-point win over Holliston, scored 75 in a 45-point win over Norton, which you referenced earlier. And then beat Westwood, by 19 in a 55-36 victory. So it seems like they're right on pace for about 55-ish points. Obviously that 75 there, a bit of an outlier. Maybe they could reach it this game, but it seems, even though it feels a bit slower, that Hopkinton's right on pace to do what they normally do.
Yeah, I think both teams are playing some pretty tough D, a little more intensity.
Kevney misses the quick three. She was open, but couldn't find the mark. Morningstar drives,
Not
left
much room
hand,
there.
no good. Gogolin crashes, gets the board.
Jump ball.
She missed, and then she fights with Julia Dowling for a jump ball. This one goes to Medway.
Yeah, Lily Morningstar taken into amongst the trees, as they say, with a left-handed layup that was not a lot of room for that one to get through. But nevertheless, aggressive move to the hoop.
Yeah, a quick start to the third quarter. And Morningstar on Childs again. Bit of a height advantage for Childs, but again, Morningstar, a tough on-ball defender. As Sam Murray misses the drive, rebounded by Hopkinton. Now Marissa Prawl. Now the ball in the hands of Morningstar. She drives, nice take, just not enough on it as the layup falls short. Meg Downing drives, throws up a tough shot, and ball ends up in the hands of Gogolin.
Interesting no call there. His body's flying everywhere there. Prawl got run over, essentially. I guess, if the refs are going to err in one way or the other, better to just let the girls play. Makes for a better game, but there was definitely contact there.
Morningstar thought about rising up for the three there, decided against it. Tough pass from Kevney. Not much right that could have.
Bodies everywhere out there.
Loose ball ends up in the hands of Morningstar. She drives.
Referees checking
Like
out
a
a situation
clock
with
issue, I believe.
possession. It was going back. It was a bit scattered there, a little controlled chaos, back and forth, and maybe they didn't.
Yeah, it looks like they reset the shot clock, which they should not have.
That's a tough thing for the refs. They got a lot to handle, just watching the game, and then unless somebody gave them a little heads up from the stands to say, hey, the shot clock didn't change. So, to their credit, nice job keeping things moving.
Kevney fires a three, blocked. And Childs and Gogolin fight for the loose ball, and I don't want to be too bold, but it looks like it clearly went off Childs there, and the ball ends up in Medway's possession. Still a 7-point lead for Hopkinton.
Sam Murray with her third or fourth block.
Yeah, she's had a very active game, especially on the defensive end, and has done a good job of containing Gogolin. Childs steps back for three, knocks it down. Great shot there from Childs. And now Hopkinton with just a 4-point lead.
That's a reach there.
Yep. And looks like a makeup call called on the shot there, because it definitely looked like a reach, as you said, Steve. No call there, but then Prawl continues on. 2 free throws.
I guess I would prefer, as it played out, I guess if I had to choose between the two, I'd take the two-shot foul. So.
Right. Prawl's first one is nothing but net.
She has a really nice rhythm and routine at the line. Again, I'm afraid to say much more before she shoots this next one. I don't want to jinx her, but she's just swishing everything. She has a really nice rhythm, I told you. But she's got to be shooting 75% range for the year. In that range, I don't have the specific stats, but regardless of whatever the stat is, she has really good form and consistency when she takes those free throws.
And Prawl went 1 of 2 from the line on that trip. 29-24 lead. Childs fires another three. This one's short, but no one boxed out Sam Murray.
That'll drive a coach crazy.
That drives me crazy watching it up here. As the pass goes out of bounds, apparently off of a Hiller last. And the third quarter has not gone quite as planned for Coach Greco and the Hopkinton Hillers. Now that 7-point lead whittled down to just 3 with about 5.5 minutes left here in the third.
Yeah, Hiller's without a basket. They've only got 1 foul shot this half. 5:22 left, as you said. It's down to a 3-point lead. And again, the Medway's got a little momentum going in their favor at the moment.
In that last exchange, Morningstar jumped the pass, knocked it out of bounds. Stays with Medway. Downing for 3, fires, got enough on it, just off the mark as Gogolin grabs it.
Nice
Gets
pass.
it up to Morningstar. Morningstar takes it all the way, can't quite convert, but Kevany, she grabs the board and is fouled, looks like by Julia Dowling.
Yeah, she had the palms up, like, how could that be? I didn't do that, and it looked like all ball, but again, there's just it's a hard fine line for these refs to call. You know, there's no instant replay here, so they make their best judgments, and overall they're having a good game as well.
As Kevany knocks down the first free throw, that foul actually went against Sam Murray, Medway's big, and that is her 3rd foul. So that is something to keep in mind, as Kevany also has 3 on the game. She goes 1 of 2 from the line. 30-26 lead now for Hopkinton, as Rachel Costello calls out the play for the Mustangs. Corby tried to take the ball away a bit late on the steal attempt. A missed 3,
nice
tipped away by Riley Childs. Ends up in the hands of Meg Downing, and she collects a blocking foul there against Kate Hubner.
Yeah, Kate, that's just unlucky for her. She's trying to play defense with her feet, and her feet got caught up with the Medway player, and looked like she tripped over Kate's feet. So I guess you had to call that one. It was just unlucky.
Pass inside to Sam Murray. She didn't quite have possession of it. Looked like she was trying to draw the foul and get off the shot. No good. Medway rebounds it, but a tough pass from Childs over to Dowling.
Over to a Medway fan in the stands. I'm sure she didn't intend to do that. But Childs is having a heck of a game for Medway.
Yeah, it was a great hustle play to keep the ball in bounds and lead to that foul.
She's playing tough D on Ivy right now. That's quite a battle. A lot of fronting, a lot of body contact under there, all clean.
Morningstar gets a clean shot off, a bit too strong. Again, Childs makes a great saving play. Sam Murray gets caught up, and Morningstar picks her pass off.
That could have been a 4th foul.
Morningstar
That's gotta be a foul
hesitates
there.
and draws the contact. A foul called against Medway.
Samantha Murray again having a big game. You know, one of the more solid players we've seen on the Medway squad there. Barely avoided getting her 4th foul on that, and she got out of the way. And, you know, to the credit of the refs, they don't want to have these girls foul out. And she got out of the way. There was contact, but not enough to justify a foul.
As Morningstar knocks down that first free throw, 5-point lead for Hopkinton, 4:08 left in the 3rd quarter. Second one up and good. Morningstar doesn't have a bad rhythm herself at the free throw line as she adds to her point total. 6-point lead for Hopkinton.
Ivy's 2nd foul, I believe.
Foul came right before Childs was about to step out of bounds, so lucky break there for Medway. And Coach Iannone calls a timeout, looking to get some points here, down 6 with 4 minutes left in the 3rd.
Yeah, again, this is really just a tight game from the start. You know, no big point swings. We got a 6-point lead here. It was a 7-point lead at half. And certainly a lot of time left, just about 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And foul trouble. The foul issues aren't really anything at the moment. If once one of these key players gets a 4th foul, if that should happen, that's when the coaches are going to have to, you know,
start planning a bit more for that.
Exactly. But so far, you know, it's I guess a lower scoring game as compared to some of the other games that the Hillers have played so far. And I was here for the
win over Norton.
Norton and also Holliston, but certainly Norton was, unfortunately for them, a very young and inexperienced team and not a very deep bench. They only had 9 players, and that was
and that's exactly what Hopkinton is good at. It has that deep bench and that experience. So a bit of a worse perfect storm, I guess, in the bad way for Norton.
It was lopsided early, but you know, to the credit of Coach Greco and his staff, Pat O'Brien and Kerry Chatton and Anthony Gonzalez, they had a chance to play a lot of players that night, including some JV players. So that gave some younger players a chance to get some varsity time.
Olivia Gladue drives baseline, tries the reverse lay-in, blocked away by Childs. She looks up, nice idea to try to get the ball to Sam Murray. Maybe should have tried a bounce pass as McDermott whacks that one away, stays with Mustangs.
Yeah, definitely a nice play by Childs, and I agree. If that bounce pass might have worked better.
Childs gets a shot off the inbounds play, gets open. Again, the Medway's inbounds plays have worked very well tonight. Hopkinton players have either been sealed off or have just lost Medway players and resulting in an open shot. Luckily for Hopkinton, no bucket there. Morningstar fires from 3. A bit too strong. Livia Gladue gets in there for the board, but Riley Childs steals it away.
Child's like a power forward center point guard. She's playing Ooh.
A deep 3. Julia Dowling again. I believe that's her third 3 of the game.
Maybe that's why her number is 3. I don't know. It's a bad joke, but it's not even a joke. It was a bad attempt at a joke. But that is her third 3-pointer, and she's only taken like 4 of them. So she's.
And she said from deeper than that. So Medway's Hopkinton's gonna have to keep track of her. And then she gets on the ground and forces the great turnover. Now ball in the hands of Childs, and she was looking to press the issue. But great on-ball defense there from Gladue. And now Dowling again from 3. Just trickles out. She was ready to start strutting down the court. Now the ball in the hands of Morningstar. Morningstar takes it all the way. Great take. She felt the defender on her and just kept running down the court. Lily Morningstar, the nice touch to drop that one in. 5-point lead for Hopkinton. Sorry, Steve. Again, to your point, it seems like every time we get a 3 from Medway, there's another steal or a turnover, and then Hopkinton goes right back, gets a bucket. Things seems to be trading buckets here.
No question. And again, the lead is just kind of hanging in that 5 to 7 point range. It's 34-29. Morningstar in that last play, she's taking the ball to the hoop a lot, which is great. And she's encountering Riley Childs and Samantha Murray, who have, if they haven't blocked her shots and some other girls' shots,
definitely altered them.
Altered them. But on that last drive, Lily kept her composure and her balance and went up under control, and it's good to see her finally get one of those to go down.
Yeah, like you were saying, a bit of her, a few of her other drives have been tougher, and it looks like she's forcing. And of course, as we're talking about Morningstar, it looks like she gets a little treatment there on her right 2 fingers, her pinky finger, looks like.
That must have just happened.
Yeah, looks like so she's going to sit down for a bit. Maybe she jammed her fingers. But in any event, she's sitting down right now, and a tough blow to absorb for Hopkinton, but one they will have to absorb nonetheless.
Nice ball.
Sam Murray, great look, great fake to have McDermott go sprinting by as she went for the block, and a bucket there for Sam Murray.
It's like a textbook ball fake for all you younger viewers out there. That's what you do under the. Even if you're not as tall as the defender, you can get them to move one way, and that was really nice play.
Marissa Paul steps back, fires the 3, knocks it down. She looked extremely confident on that shot, and it showed. The deep 3, great foot placement, great balance, and she knocks it down. Sam Murray, nice drive, pass to Riley Childs. She can't get it. As Childs and McDermott both fall to the ground, and Childs just gets enough of that to call a jump ball. It'll stay with Hopkinton, though, as McDermott and Gladue take a seat. And Corby and Gogolin back on the court.
Lots of body contact in there. Again, the refs, to their credit, letting the girls play both ways.
Hey, all you can ask for the most part, is consistency, and that's what we've seen thus far.
Oh, nice.
Great play by Prahl. The nice behind-the-back pass, but ran right into another defender. That one taken away. But she gets right back on the defensive end and forces a tough pass. This one taken away by Corby. Kevaney fires from 3. And a travel called. Usually we see those ones let go, but that one called on Kevaney, a turnover for Hopkinton. 6-point lead now, 1:01 left.
She had a little hop there, yep. And again, inconspicuously or not so inconspicuously, right in front of the refs. So
they had no choice on that one.
Had to call that one. Wow, tough D with her feet.
Very aggressive defense. Whenever she's on the ball, causing problems for Medway ball handlers.
Shot clock down to 8.
Pass inside to Murray, a kick ball, but definitely inadvertent. Shot fired from Gould. That one no good and grabbed by Kevany. Now Hopkinton on the break.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Tough pass from Kevany. Had Prawl on the left and Gogolin on the right. That pass looked like it was designed more for Gogolin over the head of Prawl.
Yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of room for that. Really had to, needle in the haystack to get that ball.
It would have had to have been a great pass in order to get
tough.
a bucket there.
Good idea, but I think not. It was an ill-advised play with the end of the quarter approaching.
Shot clock off now. Meg Downing doesn't care. Fires the three. No good.
Good
Callie
box.
Corby with a great box out. Costello clearly frustrated. She could not get around Corby, but well within the rules. And now Hopkinton will have 12.2 seconds left as Morningstar comes back into the game. Finger injury and all. Looking to get a bucket here for Hopkinton. Last 10 seconds. Up 6. And the ball does find her again. Now Kevany,
nice move.
She drives. Can't quite make the bucket. And Corby grabs the rebound, but that will do it here for the third quarter. And again, Hopkinton had a 28-21 lead. They scored 9 points. Medway scored 10 points. 37-31 now, 6-point lead for Medway. For Hopkinton.
Yeah, we certainly can take a look at that third quarter and things kind of slowed down offensively for both teams. So I don't want to interrupt what's happening down there. So
I think the 50-50 raffle.
Okay.
And this 50-50 raffle will benefit the class of 2019. And there will be one lucky audience member here tonight. Collect a nice sum of money. But I'm sure they care more about the Hopkinton victory if that does come to pass. Again, fourth quarter just about to get underway. Hopkinton with a 37-31 lead. And Steve, like we've been saying, the game has, I don't think most basketball games don't go like this, but to stay within that 5, 6, 7 point range the entire time, usually we see one team maybe pull away a little bit and Medway will come back or vice versa, but this game has really stayed the same kind of state for the entire game.
Yeah, and again, no real foul trouble at this point. As you get
unless Murray or Kevany, it looks like, will pick up another one, but
nobody
they
has
have time.
Nobody has 4 fouls going in the fourth quarter, and this is going to be an exciting finish. You can kind of see that happening.
Childs open for 3, deep, a bit too strong. Prawl fighting for the rebound. Good cut by Childs, but ball couldn't get to her. It does now. But she's stuck at the 3-point line. Tough pass.
Right to her coach.
Right to the coach.
That's her second time throwing it a little out of control there. And interesting. Childs is. We don't have the heights at our disposal here, but she's got to be close to 6 feet tall. And Lily is not 6 feet tall. She's more like in the 5'3", 5'4" range. And that last sequence, Lily's playing tough defense on Childs, so caused a turnover.
Yep, Lily's going to have to be a pest for someone like Childs, who comes away with a steal there. Great hands as she forces the turnover. But I'm sure Morningstar, we've seen her fiery competitiveness throughout the years. I'm sure it's a challenge she's ready for. Kevany looks like, I got to disagree with you on that one. That one looked like a foul to me, but Hopkinton gets the benefit there. Julie Dowling definitely was not too pleased with that call.
Nor was the coach of Medway, who was expressing his sentiments to the ref there. But that's just high school ball.
At any rate, Callie Corby's bringing it up for Hopkinton with a 6-point lead. Kevany opens herself up for 3, takes a dribble to the side. No, but Prawl gets in there. Corby as well, and she comes away with the rebound. A fresh shot clock. Prawl open for 3. Just a bit too short.
Good look. Again, Corby, she'll get that on the stat sheet with a rebound, but she's boxing people out. She's just having a really strong game. Doing all the little things.
Great defense there from Hopkinton as Kevany takes it right out of the hands of Dowling, and she drives, takes the contact, no foul called. Looks like it should have been a block on Meg Downing, but a bucket nonetheless for Kevany.
Lots of contact.
Great movement there from Sam Murray to find under the basket, but tipped out of bounds.
The Hopkinton fans and parents, and most of the fans here tonight are parents because a lot of the students have exams and whatever going on here. Ooh, that was a little hot.
Child steps back for three again. That's the second time she's caught the ball, collected herself behind the three-point line, knocked it down. 5-point lead now, 39-34 Hopkinton.
That was a similar situation that Kevany did, and Kevany got called in the travel.
Right.
It wasn't quite as obvious, but ooh, nice block.
Crawl turns around, but against Sam Murray there, the defensive stalwart for Medway, has collected her fair share of blocks. Pass over to Meg Downing. Bit too strong from just inside the three-point line. Now Morningstar with it. And
ooh, she's out of
again, that looked like a foul and a half on Riley Childs. I don't want to criticize too much, but threw her body into Lily Morningstar. No foul called. But luckily for Hopkinton, they keep possession.
Yeah, Lily, a little out of control, to be honest with you. It was like a 1-on-3. And there's a
contact. Sam Murray hit with her fourth. And Regan Kevany will go to line for two, the senior captain, the steady force for Hopkinton.
So that's Sam Murray's first foul. Is that true? Boy, she's got like 5 blocked shots. That's what it says up there. We're just going with what we see.
I thought we had seen her with more fouls. Because I saw her foul Gogolin first. So they must have reset that.
Yeah, we'll have to get our intel, some of our research.
Our team down on that to figure it out.
We'll have to let you know the next broadcast. Pass to nowhere.
And we see Lily Morningstar again after she took that brief sabbatical to get her finger taped up. Hasn't stopped her here in the fourth quarter.
That's a good timeout by the Medway coach because again, there hasn't, as you said earlier, Tim. There's really been no huge leads here, but a 7-point lead is about as big as it's been all game, and that's what we have here with 5:22 left, 41-34. Hillers, Medway looking a little out of sorts on a couple of plays there. And the Medway coach, I think a good timeout to gather his team to see if they can make a little run here with about 5 minutes left in the game.
And the timeout from Coach Iannone, looking to settle down the Mustangs, who have been led by Riley Childs and Julia Dowling. Dowling especially from beyond the three-point line. And Childs says, like you said earlier, playing that kind of point forward position, tall enough. She's got the length to play down low and can reject shots, but also has the probably grew up as a guard, probably was shorter, and then had a growth spurt because she's still got that guard mentality, able to drive, dribble, and dish, and she's really doing it all for Medway today.
Yeah, I think that things have, I would say she and Sam Murray have kind of, and also Julia Dowling, who's hit at least 3 three-pointers, so there's 9 of the 34 points on 3 three-pointers from Dowling, and those are the 3 players that have got the majority of the points for Medway. Corby taking very good care of the ball. I don't think I've seen her have a turnover this year. I'm embellishing a little bit, but not by much.
Hubner drives to Corby. Now Morningstar with it. She makes a nice drive. A good idea to pass, but Childs just gets a hand in there at the end and knocks it out of bounds.
9 seconds left in the shot clock, Tim. Yep.
Morningstar doing a great job prodding the defense on that one. And a good idea on the pass, but again, Childs just got in there. Now Gogolin, she has struggled today offensively, gets her shot blocked by Childs. Normally quite the presence for Hopkinton as Sam Murray finds an open layup. Again, Gogolin's player, or her defensive matchup.
Yeah, the Hillers kind of let their guard down there for a split second, and Medway took full advantage of it. Uh-oh. You can see Medway's intensity is really stepped up here.
And Gogolin on the offensive end gets that rebound and fights for it, draws the foul. 2 shots coming for Gogolin.
Mary Kate Gould, no question about the amount of contact there that warranted a foul. And as you said, Ivy, not as many points as she has in the past in some other games here, but she's, there's still 4.5 minutes left in the game, and
She sinks that free throw.
You know, that's the way this team is built. They have about, you know, half dozen players who can take over the game at any given moment.
And the second one just off the front of the rim. A 6-point lead. Excuse me, 5-point lead for. Oh, the scoreboard keeps changing, so we'll get the score to you eventually. Looks like it's settled at 42-36 now. 6-point lead for Hopkinton. Childs again finds
lots of contact.
Murray down low.
I would be irate if I was the net. That was a obvious foul that wasn't called. I didn't understand.
That was a foul. Murray not happy, but Medway comes up with the ball. Murray again will have a chance. Misses the open layup. Tried to collect herself. Looked like one of those moments where she was surprised she was that open. A tough turn of events there for Medway.
Boy, that's those kind of calls with under 4 minutes left in the game. You drive a coach crazy.
Again, 3:40 left in this game. Hopkinton with a 6-point lead, 42-36. Morningstar open for three. She fires just off the front rim and rebounded by Gold.
Nice play.
Now Riley Childs wide open. That is.
I would call a timeout, maybe, Gary.
That is the.
That's me. That's why I'm up in the booth and I don't coach.
But that Hopkinton has had several instances like that where they've just left a Medway player wide open for an easy layup.
That's kind of my point. That's the second time in about a minute and a half that kind of situation occurred. And
now Medway looking to take advantage. And Riley Childs, I'm sure, looking to get the ball here. Sam Murray down low, just not enough on it as Kevany grabs the board. And a quick foul called on Mary Kate Gould there. Tough again.
That's a one-on-one situation, I believe.
Right, yep, Medway just picking up their 7th foul of this half. And luckily for Hopkinton, they'll be shooting free throws for the rest of the way.
Yeah, you know, and again, strategically for Medway, that may not be the worst thing in the world to be in the 1-and-1 for the Hillers, because it kind of keeps the clock stopped, slows things down a little bit, and the next 2 or 3 possessions they have the ability to maybe foul somebody who they may not have the, you know, I mean, all the Hiller girls are solid shooters, but right now Kevany's hit her first shot. Now it should be 43, I think. Ivy trying to get that tip.
The second one no good.
We'll have to check that scoreboard. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Nice pass from Gogolin, from Kevany to Morningstar. She misses the layup. Both Kevany and Gogolin had second and third opportunities.
Kevany with a foul, I think.
Both Gogolin and Kevany missed their second and third chance attempts, and a quick foul called as Riley Childs came away with the ball.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah, and finally a timeout from Coach Greco.
Well, you know, that's a good timeout to just kind of gather them. So that's the 4th foul on
Kevany,
Reagan.
yep.
And that's a major development right now. It's only a 5-point lead. You know, 1 3-pointer. It's a 2-point. It's a 2-possession game right here, and Medway has definitely a couple of players who are capable of getting hot with a couple minutes left in the game. Julie Dowlings hit 3 out of 4 from downtown, and Riley Childs is not shy. She'll take a shot once she crosses half court. She's willing to take a 3-pointer. But certainly Hillers, no foul issues at the moment. I mean, other than having
Kevany, yep, with
Kevany
4.
with 4. There's only 3 fouls, and the rest of not a lot of fouls. Medway won't be shooting 1-on-1 for a little more time if they even get to that point. So that actually helps the Hillers as the game winds down. But definitely going to be an exciting finish here, and you can see the crowds. But both towns have, again, mostly parents here, and we can kind of hear them through the headphones that they're into the game.
Some calls
which is
they may disagree with, right? And last year we were talking about some of the players they lost, including Pucci, Canistrari, Emma Lakasha. Now would be the time for last year that they would lean on players like that, especially Pucci going down low, a calming presence there for them. Now they don't have her. Who's going to step up in these last 2.5 minutes. Now, the first 3 games so far weren't too close. 12-point win over Holliston was the closest one. This one has been within 12 the entire time. And we'll see who's going to step up for Hopkinton, who will take over that role as the closer. Will it be Ivy Goglin, Lily Morningstar, or will Riley Childs rally Medway for a victory? We'll see over here in the last 2 minutes.
That's not a big deal at the moment. Lily, it might be a 3rd foul on her. I've lost track.
Right, yeah, it looks like it. We see her 3rd.
4th team foul.
As Hopkinton inches closer to putting Medway in the bonus. Childs looking for her shot, steps back, fires, no good. Goglin grabs the board, looking for help and finds it in Kevany.
Patience, keep it under control, work the clock a little bit here.
Corby in trouble, gets it to Morningstar just
Nice
past
play.
the outstretched hands of Childs.
Again, Corby dealing with a double team, very cool and collected out there.
Hubner drives after the pass, off the backboard, almost gets the tough bounce.
Ooh.
And as much as we were complimenting these referees earlier, might have to change course a bit here. A bunch of quick ticky-tack fouls, it looks like, on both sides, I'd say.
Yeah, that was under the circuit, considering what they've called.
Right, or haven't called.
Yeah, to call that one, I didn't really get that, but again,
You got to deal with it if you're Hopkinton. And a shot there, baseline jumper from Kylie Sheehan. A 3-point lead now for Hopkinton.
Senior coming off the bench.
Goglin turns around, finds Kevany. She turns around, bucket for the senior.
Big hoop.
Great play from Morningstar to find Goglin, who turns around and finds Kevany right away for the bucket. Kylie Sheehan, what a move.
Wow.
Another Euro step for Medway.
Under a minute, with 58 seconds left, 3-point lead. All of a sudden, Kylie Sheehan of Medway,
4 quick points.
senior, not a starter, comes off the bench. She's guard forward, kind of a swingman type of player, and good for her as if you're rooting for Medway, but she makes 2 really nice, tough shots down the stretch, bringing them in. You know, this game's got a fantastic finish. We can't help it. It's a 3-point lead with under a minute left.
Right, and that prompts the timeout from Medway's head coach, Joe Iannone, again looking to kind of guide his team through this last minute with his coach on the floor and Riley Childs, and see if she can rally this Mustang team to a victory. It will be the first loss for whoever is on the unfortunate end of this one, as the winner will move to 4-0, and I assume safely top the TVL standings. But as we know, the TVL, in pretty much any sport, is always a gauntlet to go through.
Yeah, there's lots of tough teams. Westwood, Medway, Medfield's
Millis is always a very, very good team.
Exactly. They're Division 4,
Medfield,
but they
right.
always bring good teams. Medway setting up a full court press. That was why the coach just called a timeout after his hoop. Working it, make sure they get the ball in.
Gets it into into Morningstar. She's
Easy.
looking for help. She finds it. Hubner with it. And a bit too aggressive on the defense there. Finally, a foul that looks like it was well-deserved. This one called on Julia Dowling.
So 1-1, yep.
Yep, with 51 seconds left. Hubner, the senior, will be shooting free throws. 1-1 here to start. We'll see what she can do with the first.
It's a good move by the Medway coach, bringing in Kylie Sheehan, who just has hit the last 4 points for Medway in the last 25 seconds or so.
First free throw good. Ice water in Hubner's veins.
That's a big hoop now. It's a 2-possession game with 51 seconds left.
And in a game like this where points have been hard to come by, I'm not saying it's over, but that might be enough to give Hopkinton the win, but we'll see here. 5-point lead, 51.2 seconds left. Another timeout called. This one by Coach Greco, as he looks to do what his counterpart just did and kind of guide his team through this last minute and see if they come out in a full court press as well.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for Medway in the sense that they can bring the ball down and work it into, Childs or
Murray or
there's some options. They don't have to start launching three-pointers quite yet.
Right.
But they can get a quick hoop in the next 10 seconds and
play good defense, maybe cause a turnover.
Foul. They have the ability to foul. And
it's still 1-and-1 for
take
one
their
more
chances,
foul. Yep.
Take their chances at the foul line a little bit. So they have, I think that's their strategy at this point. And Hopkinton, if they can just maybe play a little keep away and drain the clock down for another 25 seconds, and try to work that strategy. But that's a real tough. If you're Medway and you're coming back on the court and you're looking at the Hopkinton roster, I mean, 4 seniors and effectively a senior in Lily, which was a junior, but she's playing like a senior. So hopefully the Hillers will keep their cool. And right now they're going to put a little full court press on Medway.
Very similarly to what the Mustangs did coming out of their timeout. Hubner up tight on Meg Downing. She drives, kicks it over to Sam Murray, baseline jumper, off the mark. Callie Corby lets it go, and apparently that went off of a Hiller.
That's a really tough. Ooh, that was almost a walk too.
Childs looking to get the shot off, realizes she's got nothing. Ball circulating around the three-point line.
5 seconds on the shot clock. They got to get the shot.
Childs down low now to Sheehan just inside the three-point line. No good. Grabbed by Gogolin. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left, and Gogolin is fouled, and she will be shooting at least one free throw.
Good play by Gogolin, just given the clock situation. She just waited for them to foul her. She kind of got smothered there. Really good look by Sheehan. That was their sort of last hope to kind of hang in the game unless something crazy happens here. But that was with 1 second left in the shot clock, they unfortunately for Medway they took probably too long in that last possession and drained the clock down probably more than their coach wanted to.
Gogolin misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
15 seconds left.
I believe that was a 2-point shot fired from Dowling. No good. Childs with it. She steps back. 3 off the mark. And Gogolin collects it, and that should do it. And that does. The Hopkinton Hillers, with a hard-fought victory from start to finish, did not have the lead the entire time, but after the initial 3-point, I believe 3-2 lead from Medway, they never got another lead, and the Hillers put the clamps on defensively and take this one 47-42 to keep their undefeated season alive.
Yeah, both teams, I guess you could say it was more of a defensive battle, which is always, you got to tip your hat. The girls are working hard out there, but it wasn't exactly an offensive display by either team. A lot of shots, a lot of them didn't go in. The Hillers only got 19 points in the second half after scoring. It was 28-21 at halftime. The final score is 47-42. So, again, a very tight game the whole way through. Congratulations to both teams. Good effort on both sides. And I guess the Hillers have a little bragging rights going in, to the next game this Friday night.
Right, but no rest for the weary, at least regarding Hopkinton, as they visit.
It's Thursday night.
They visit. We'll be here on Friday.
Okay.
Against Millis.
There we go.
But on Thursday, the Hillers will head to Foxborough for a non-league contest starting at 6:30 p.m. So we hope you guys check in for that one. But we'll be here on Friday when they host the Millis Mohawks. So for Steve Spector, I am Tim Vladik, and for the rest of our crew here at HCAM who do a wonderful job, we'd like to thank you guys and thank you, audience, for watching. We hope you join us next time.